Everybody, welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. It's Friday. That means we have another whiskey on the bar for review. And this time, it's a single malt Scotch. Surprise, surprise. The Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut. As always on the channel, nose, taste, finish review. This is coming your way. I'll tell you what I think about the value. I'll give you my final thoughts. I'll give you a final score, and I will leave you with a malt musing as I always do. But first, I am going to shamelessly ask, take a second, hit that subscribe button. That'll make sure you don't miss these reviews. I drop them every Friday here on YouTube. I also have a Tuesday happy hour every Tuesday, Tasty Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Would love to see you there in the chat. We always have a great time on that live stream. Let's get to the whiskey. Check out that presentation. This is a Speyside whiskey. If that means anything to you, it is bottled at 48.8% ABV. It is matured in first fill sherry seasoned oak casks. Okay. It's bottled with a natural color, and it is at 48.8% ABV. Why? That is the whiskey maker's ideal ABV for this particular whiskey, hence Whiskey Maker's Cut. This is a non-age statement whiskey. It comes in this ostentatious box, but the Glenrothes bottle, this is what you will see with all of their stuff, these kind of snub grenade bottles. I kind of like them. Let me take a quick look here if there's anything else to share with you regarding the information on this whiskey. Nope, not on there. Let's see what the box says. Matured only in first fill sherry seasoned oak cask, bottled in natural color at the strength selected by our master whiskey maker. Well, there you go. It tells you a bit about tasting notes, which we will avoid. Here's what they have to say about the Speyside Distillery. Quietly and without compromise. Quietly, definitely. How many of y'all have heard of Glenrothes before? This distillery is the heart of Speyside. I've been crafting some of the world's finest whiskey since 1879, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. High proportion of first fill European American oak casks sherry seasoned in Spain. So there you go. Now, as far as the range itself, they do have some age statement stuff out. They have some non-age statement. This is a non-age statement. Again, 48.8%, which is what they select. It does not say anything about chill filtration, so we have to assume that they have chill filtered this a bit. Nice cork. All right, let's check it out. This is a fully sherry matured whiskey, so we expect fully matured sherry flavor. That is the color we are looking at. Let's dig in. On the nose, well, it's definitely sherry, and you can tell. Why? Dry fruit, sweet red fruits, orange peel, resinous quality to it. So a little tip, especially when dealing with non-age statement whiskeys that have been aged in sherry. How do you really tell the age of the whiskey that's in this? They don't tell you, you can only guess. One way to tell with approximation with a single malt like this that's been aged in sherry is, are you getting more sweet, fresh red fruit or dried, spicy Christmas cake red fruits? The longer the whiskey is in a sherry cask, the more oxidation occurs and the drier and more spicy the Oloroso sherry on a whole will appear. I can tell you on this one right now, you're getting a nice blend of both. There are some dry fruits. There's a nice floral quality to this, almost perfume-like. Strawberry, raspberry, orange peel. Getting some hints of vanilla. There's a little sharpness, borderlining on bitter, which I can't quite put my finger on meat here, so we should probably just jump in with the taste. All in all, a very sherry-forward nose, nothing surprising. Let's give it a taste. Cilantro. This is interesting. At first, you are presented with a very rich, full, fruity, sweet, mildly spicy whiskey. Orange, red fruit, cinnamon spice, Then you get hit with a pretty bitter oak cask note. This then drags kind of into the finish. It's drier. You're getting a more of a Christmas spices, as I was mentioning earlier. A little bit of allspice, a little bit of cinnamon, vanilla all the way through. It still has a mild vanilla creaminess, but the dryness that's coming through there on the end and the spice has, for the most part, taken away what you get in the initial development. Medium. Fruity, yes. Cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice. Okay. Let's put a little bit of water on this. It's 48.8%, which they say is the optimal according to the master whiskey maker here, but I'm going to bring it down a couple notches just to see what else we get. Put 3 drops on. Here we go. Let's make sure this glass is nice and coated. I really want to get deep into this one. See what else we get. Fresh cut wood. Yes, the sherry notes are on the drier, spicier side. I feel like the water is bringing that out a little bit more. This is spicier than most sherry bombs that I would say I've had. And this could be a testament to the youth potentially in this because it's a non-age statement. However, it is all first fill. Seasoned oak at that. There we go. Better. More measured on the arrival. The creaminess, yes. The vanilla and the red fruit and the orange, we're going to harmoniously, but still that shot of bitter and oak and dryingness is very acute. As it goes into a medium finish, hints of oak, cocoa, cinnamon. I mean, it's surprising that this doesn't have a bourbon cask in it, considering how much bourbon kind of notes I'm getting here. Dry sherry, tannic. One more sip for good measure. Wow. It arrives really nice, sweet, and promising. What you would expect in a lot of ways from a nice sherried, full first fill sherry whiskey. But boy, that bitterness really cuts it off. And while some would argue that adds character, I think it's taking a bit away here because it's the only game in town as it goes into the finish. I have a slight burn on my tongue. Okay. Glenrothes, whatever you want to call it. This, value-wise, you are looking at around $70 USD for this. Value-wise, I would say let's take a look at other things out on the market. There are some age statement, fully sherried whiskeys. There are some non-age statement ones. This is an NAS at $70. I feel like it's reaching a little bit. I'm not sure that this justifies that price. I like the ABV, I like the natural color, but there are definitely some whiskeys out there that I think will give you a little better bang for your buck. Something like a medium low on the value for this. Okay, let's talk final thoughts. So the whiskey master whiskey maker over at Glenrothes chose this as the optimal ABV for this first fill whiskey, 48.8%. Kudos to them on the good ABV. Kudos to them on the natural color, not so much on the chill filtration. This is an interesting sherry bomb. So first of all, if you like sherry, you're probably going to want to try this. However, the bitterness, the tannicness that comes all too quickly with this one as it gets into the latter half of the development and into the finish, I feel it's taking away from the experience a bit. It's a little rough around the edges. It's it almost belies the quality of what you initially think you're going to get when you first taste it. I'm thinking about much cheaper first fill sherried whiskeys that are out on the market. I'm thinking about a blended malt called Naked Grouse, which is around $35, a little bit less on the ABV, but I feel like is a much more seamless experience. The nose on this is just incongruent with the palate, particularly the back half of the palate and the finish. And to be honest, it's leaving me wanting a little bit more, especially at that $70 price point for an NAS like this. Despite its lofty ideals of being the whiskey maker's cut, I think this is missing the mark a little bit. I'm going to give this a 2.75 out of 5, which means I definitely recommend you try this before you buy it. If you are a sherry head, maybe you've had it already. If not, when you go to your next bar, pour yourself a glass. Maybe this is the bottle for you. It is not necessarily the bottle for me, so it's coming in below average at 2.75 out of 5. So that is my final score here on the Glenrothes Whiskey Maker's Cut. Leave a comment. What do you think? Have you had this one before? Is this something that you've been planning on buying? Do you agree, disagree with me? Would love to hear what you have to say. And with that, I will kick you over to your malt musing, and I'll see you next time here on Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. So much.